Everyone believed their love was certain because it felt steady, familiar, and quietly unbreakable. They built a life on shared mornings, unspoken understanding, and the belief that some promises did not need repeating. But time has a way of testing even the strongest bonds, not with drama, but with distance, silence, and small choices that slowly add weight. What happens when forever begins to feel fragile, and love must prove itself not through words, but through patience, sacrifice, and staying when it would be easier to walk away?
Even in their absence, these civilizations possess a haunting presence. Overgrown streets, crumbling walls, and silent temples evoke both awe and melancholy. They remind us that human ingenuity, though remarkable, is always balanced against unpredictable forces, nature, conflict, and time itself. The vanishing of a civilization is neither simple nor inevitable. It is the result of complex interactions between people, environment, and circumstance. Recognizing this interplay deepens our understanding of the past and invites reflection on the responsibilities and vulnerabilities of modern societies. The visual memory of these civilizations endures in fragments. A carved stone here, a weathered wall there, the outlines of a city plan revealed by careful excavation. Each fragment is a portal into a long-vanished world, sparking imagination and inquiry. As sunlight shifts over ruins, shadows trace the contours of human ambition and effort, reminding observers that these were real people, with hopes, fears, and daily struggles not unlike our own. The past is not abstract. It is embodied in these remnants, silently offering insight, warning, and inspiration. Even in their absence, these civilizations possess a haunting presence. Overgrown streets, crumbling walls, and silent temples evoke both awe and melancholy. They remind us that human ingenuity, though remarkable, is always balanced against unpredictable forces, nature, conflict, and time itself. The vanishing of a civilization is neither simple nor inevitable. It is the result of complex interactions between people, environment, and circumstance. Recognizing this interplay deepens our understanding of the past and invites reflection on the responsibilities and vulnerabilities of modern societies. The visual memory of these civilizations endures in fragments. A carved stone here, a weathered wall there, the outlines of a city plan revealed by careful excavation. Each fragment is a portal into a long-vanished world, sparking imagination and inquiry. As sunlight shifts over ruins, shadows trace the contours of human ambition and effort, reminding observers that these were real people, with hopes, fears, and daily struggles not unlike our own. The past is not abstract. It is embodied in these remnants, silently offering insight, warning, and inspiration. Ultimately, contemplating vanished civilizations invites a broader meditation on continuity and change. Societies rise, flourish, and sometimes disappear, but their influence often extends far beyond their temporal limits. They teach us about resilience, innovation, adaptation, and the consequences of neglect or mismanagement. By studying them, we gain a mirror through which to examine our present, assessing how contemporary decisions, environmental stewardship, and social cohesion might shape the long-term trajectory of our own civilizations. Their silence encourages both humility and vigilance, offering lessons that resonate across millennia. As the camera pans across ancient ruins, over desert sands or jungle canopies, one cannot help but feel both awe and introspection. The vanished civilizations leave questions as much as answers. What drove their creativity, and what contributed to their demise? What can we learn from their triumphs and failures? How might the fragility and resilience of human societies manifest in our own era? These questions linger, compelling us to study, reflect, and engage with history not as a static record, but as an ongoing dialogue between past and present. In the end, the legacy of vanished civilizations is not only found in stones and artifacts, but in the ideas, ingenuity, and human spirit they represent. Their stories, reconstructed through careful scholarship and imagination, remind us that while time may erase cities, empires, and rulers, the impact of human endeavor endures. Observing these remnants, we gain perspective on our place in history, understanding that the civilizations we inherit and create are part of a continuum, one in which innovation, adaptation, and foresight determine the narratives future generations will encounter. The echoes of the vanished remain, inviting us to listen, learn, and appreciate the delicate balance between human achievement and the forces of time.
Everyone believed their love was certain because it felt steady, familiar, and quietly unbreakable. They built a life on shared mornings, unspoken understanding, and the belief that some promises did not need repeating. But time has a way of testing even the strongest bonds, not with drama, but with distance, silence, and small choices that slowly add weight. What happens when forever begins to feel fragile and love must prove itself not through words, but through patience, sacrifice, and staying when it would be easier to walk away? Ethan had always believed that love was something you chose every day, not something that simply happened and stayed on its own. He grew up watching his parents move through life with quiet consistency, never dramatic, never loud, but always present for each other. That steady example shaped how he approached relationships, with patience and an instinct to protect what mattered. He worked in a field that demanded long hours and careful attention, often bringing that same seriousness into his personal life. Claire was different in the way she experienced the world. She noticed details others missed, the way light shifted through a room in the late afternoon, the subtle changes in someone's voice when they were holding something back. She had learned independence early, shaped by experiences that taught her to rely on herself before trusting anyone else. Yet beneath that self-sufficiency lived a quiet desire to feel chosen, not just loved, but prioritized. They met at a time when neither of them was searching for permanence. Their connection grew naturally, built on conversation that stretched late into the night and a comfort that arrived sooner than expected. Over time, their relationship settled into something warm and dependable, rooted in shared routines and mutual respect. Still, beneath that stability lingered unspoken fears. His worry that he might fail to give enough, and her concern that love, no matter how sincere, could slowly drift away. In the early years, their relationship moved with an ease that surprised them both. They learned each other's habits without effort, finding comfort in small rituals like shared meals and quiet evenings spent side by side. Arguments were rare, and when they did surface, they were handled calmly, often resolved before they had the chance to leave lasting marks. To outsiders, their love seemed effortless. As time passed, life introduced pressures neither had anticipated. Ethan's responsibilities grew, bringing longer days and a constant mental distance that followed him home. Claire remained supportive, telling herself that this was temporary, that commitment meant understanding seasons of imbalance. Still, she began to notice how often conversations were postponed, how moments once shared freely now required scheduling. There were no dramatic confrontations, only subtle shifts. Missed dinners turned into canceled plans. Silence stretched where laughter once lived. Ethan believed his dedication was proof of love, while Claire quietly questioned whether love should feel so lonely at times. She hesitated to speak, worried that expressing her doubts would sound like accusation rather than vulnerability. Eventually, a moment arrived that neither could ignore. A simple misunderstanding, small on the surface, revealed how much they had been holding back. Words were spoken carefully, but the weight behind them was unmistakable. They stood facing the truth that love, when left unattended, could weaken not from betrayal, but from neglect. And in that realization, they found themselves at a crossroads neither had expected to reach. Ethan struggled with the realization that his intentions had not translated into emotional presence. He had believed providing stability was enough, never considering how absence could feel like indifference. Even when love remained intact, the thought unsettled him, forcing him to confront the difference between loving someone deeply and making them feel loved consistently. Claire faced her own conflict. She questioned whether her silence had been a form of self-protection that ultimately distanced them further. By avoiding difficult conversations, she had preserved harmony, but at the cost of emotional honesty. She recognized that her fear of asking for more stemmed from an old belief that needs made her vulnerable in ways she had learned to avoid. The turning point was not marked by a single decision, but by a shared pause. They began to listen differently, not to defend themselves, but to understand what had been missing. In that space, they acknowledged that love alone was not the issue. The challenge lay in how they showed up for each other when life demanded more than comfort and familiarity. Choosing to stay did not mean returning to how things had been. It required something quieter and more deliberate. Ethan learned to create space not just in his schedule, but in his attention, understanding that presence was an act of care, not a convenience. Small changes followed, not grand gestures, but consistent ones that slowly rebuilt trust. Claire found her voice again, learning to express her needs without fear of burdening the relationship. She allowed herself to be seen fully, understanding that emotional closeness depended on honesty, even when it felt uncomfortable. With time, she noticed how effort replaced assumption, and how reassurance came through action rather than promises. Their love did not become perfect, but it became intentional. They accepted that forever was not guaranteed by words alone, but by choosing each other in moments both ordinary and difficult. In that choice, they discovered a deeper connection, one shaped not by idealized romance, but by resilience, understanding, and the quiet strength of staying committed when it truly mattered.